This is a review of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And I can't show you my copy of the book because it's upstairs. I have two copies, but they're the same cover, the dust jacket that J.R.R. Tolkien designed himself, with like the eagles on the front and then the dragon on the back and then the mountain up the side. But yeah, they're both upstairs. I'll start with an explanation of The Hobbit. The Hobbit is a fantasy novel written by J.R.R. Tolkien in... I can't remember the date. I can't remember the date. Well, I'm crap. It's about a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins and an adventure he goes on. I really enjoyed The Hobbit, like more than I thought I was going to, because I attempted to read The Hobbit when I was about 8 or 9, because my dad was like, well, no, you need to read the Lord of the Rings books, but you need to read The Hobbit first, which, you know, but they're old-fashioned, you know, that sort of thing. But I relented and bought myself a copy, because I'm not allowed to touch any of his copies. So I bought myself a copy, and I tried to read it so many times, and I don't know whether it was just the writing style was too mature for me, but I don't get that because it's supposed to be a kid's book, or whether I just couldn't get into it. But I started reading it last Saturday, not the one just gone, the one before that, when I purchased the pocket edition, you know, the little hardback one. I started reading it on the Saturday when I bought it, and I finished it on the Sunday just gone. So it was a bit hard going. It was strange because it was only about 270-ish pages, and a book I read the other day, like the other week, it was 490 pages, and I read it in 3 days. It's just a bit of a hard slog, I think. Also, it didn't help that I didn't really have any free time between the Saturday when I started reading it and Sunday when I finished it. I was always just grabbing little bits in between lessons or in between going places with the family, or, you know, just trying to find a peace and quiet to read. But yeah, my dad kept asking me every time he saw me reading it, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it? Because it's literally... I've got a bit of hair on my nose. Literally his favourite book in the entire world. My dad's not a big reader, so it's always been a bit weird to me that he's so obsessed with The Hobbit and like the Lord of the Rings books and anything J.R.R. Tolkien writes, really. Yeah, anything that he writes, my dad is like obsessed with. Like, he's got every single book. I think he's got almost every single book he's written. And he's got lots of different copies of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, but like I said, I'm not allowed to touch them. Though he has lent me like one of the massive books where it's got all 3 Lord of the Rings books in. I forgot what it was called then. You know, when they... Yeah, he lent me that to read Lord of the Rings. And he's told me that now I've read The Hobbit, I've got to read them and finish watching the Lord of the Rings films, seeing as I've only watched the first one. I've been using the excuse I'm waiting for The Hobbit, but I haven't been. I just didn't have 4 hours to lock myself away and watch a film. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, though at times he can get a bit descriptive, and I know a lot of people don't like that. Like, I know when I started reading it, lots of people were like, oh, you won't enjoy it because it's always, oh, Tolkien is such a bad writer. All he does is describe little things over and over and over. But I like that. I like description. And everything that you describe is important. It's not like you're just going, and then Bilbo saw a flower, and he stared at the flower for hours because it was very pretty. No, everything that he describes is really important. So I don't get what everyone was complaining about. Like, yeah, there was a lot of walking and ponies and stuff, but it was an adventure. What else is he supposed to do? Skip all the important walking bits? like, oh, I don't know, it was just, I really liked his writing style, and I liked how he put it together and how the story flowed, and there was no, like, lots of books, they have all these side plots going on, and it was just, if there was something happening in that book as a side plot, it was important, and it wasn't just to add pages, which I think is good. So yeah, favourite bits, I really liked, I can't really say much because of spoilers. Wait, no, if you've not read The Hobbit and you want to read The Hobbit, stop watching now, because I will be talking about things that happen towards the end of the book. I really like the part towards the end where Bilbo tries to stop a war breaking out by climbing over the gate and going to the camp, and then he finds Gandalf again. Because I was just like, oh, I miss Gandalf, where is he? Gandalf! Yeah, pretty easily pleased, but I was so happy when he was back, and I was like, yes, things will happen that are good. And also, I really liked the eagles. I just thought you were awesome. Just as they came in at the end, you were just like, yes, all hope is not lost. And also Gollum. Oh, Gollum. I really, really enjoyed the riddles. And I've read that in the film, the riddles are pretty much exactly the same, which is good, because I was a bit worried they were going to cut out like lots of it or change the riddles, but they're not apparently, which is good. I'm excited about that. Yeah, so I will give The Hobbit 5 out of 5 because I absolutely adored it. But yeah, me and my dad are going to see the film on Saturday. Whoop. Whoop. But we're going to see the film on Saturday, so that's going to be fun. Almost 3 hours long, apparently. I'm so excited. Though I can't wait till we come out of the cinema. Mum's like, where are you? The film's only just finished. But yes, Saturday. Bye.